Welcome back. Man, have I got a great interview tip for you today. And this is one I can't even claim as my own. I didn't come up with this. I am doing nothing more. I want to make this perfectly clear. I'm doing nothing more than passing this on to you. I recently started a podcast, In Biz with DiViz. And my first guest was Rachel Petry. Out of all the thousands of people I've had come through my interviewing skills class and do an interview at the end, she was the best. So it was only natural for her to be my first guest on my podcast. As we were talking, I asked her a question about things that she's learned, things that she does in interviews. Now, I have even put out videos on, because people ask me all the time, Craig, when you get to the end of the interview and they say, do you have any questions? Should you have any questions? Well, yeah, you should. You should either have some questions or you should explain why you don't have any questions. I got all my questions answered ahead of time. It was important for me to come into this interview knowing I wanted this job. And so I got all my questions answered. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I want this job. So you do one of two things. You either do what I just did, saying I don't have any questions and this is why, or you have some questions. Rachel came up with a question that I am now adding to my list because I think it is such a great question. If you are really concerned about the teamwork aspect of this new job, you know, some people go into their new job and they're going to kind of work by themselves. So the interaction with other people on the team is not really that important to them because there isn't that much and it's not really going to affect them. However, other people really thrive on the social aspect of teams or they're really going to need to get along with all these other people because their job is not an isolated solo job. It's highly interactive with all these other people. So her question at the end of the interview was simply this: is there anybody here on the panel today? She was talking about when she's interviewing in front of a panel. Is there anybody today on the panel who will be one of my teammates? And if somebody raises their hand and says, yeah, you would be one of my peers. She then asks the follow-up question is, tell me in your mind what the teamwork is like. What's the feel of being on this team? How do people treat each other? So just the whole question about, tell me about the teamwork and tell me about whether or not this is something that I should be looking forward to. What Rachel was really asking about is, describe for me as clearly as you can the team dynamics. That is something that for me is paramount in my decision. When she said that in the podcast, I just smiled. I was thinking, yeah, not surprised at all that my best student ever to go through my interviewing skills class had a great question that she then passed on to me that I can pass on to you. She's great. I'll put a link to the podcast in the description below. It would really be worth your time watching for lots of reasons. She's very well spoken, and you will then see why she was the best in the class. But for today's video, please add that to your list of questions to ask interviewers if in fact the team dynamics are important to you. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Can't tell you how much we really appreciate that. If you want more tips on interviewing, please check out my interviewing online course or book. I'll also put links to the description below for those. I want to thank you for watching. Till next time, stay cool, have good thoughts. See ya.